I'm Mary Crowley, and this is Zing, a show for children of all ages. May I please spend some time with you? I would like that, yes, I'd like that. Would you like that too? Hope so. Hope you'll stay with us. Today, a book about birds, the Board of Aldermen, Come Alive Outside, and the art at the 77 Gallery. The word for the day is art, and most of what is on this table is art. Someone designed this dear little sculpture of a rabbit. Somebody designed this dish towel and the ice cream cone that's on it. Somebody designed the star bear. Somebody designed the star right here. Somebody designed the back scratcher. Somebody designed the red artificial rose, fake rose, it's not real. And Betsy Hubner, who used to live in Vermont, but now lives in Colorado, painted this wonderful painting. I love it. At the top it says, "There is always a longing for things that are rare and fine." She means all of us seem to long for good things, for a good life. The color for today is pink. This is a dark pink, a hot pink, some people would say. The envelope here is pink. This ribbon is a darker pink than this ribbon right here, which is a very, very light pink. The number is 5 because it's May. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. January, February, March, April, May. And I will now sing to you, anybody who has a birthday in May. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear May, happy birthday to you. Ashley Wolff makes and illustrates books for children.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I wrote and illustrated this book. That means that I drew the pictures. It's called A Year of Birds, and it starts, of course, in January when we always start the year. I dedicate it to my mother and dad, and it starts in winter, in spring, in summer, and in fall, in every month of the year. Birds, all kinds of birds, visit Ellie's house. My dad made this bird feeder. 2 bowls, one on top of the other. It did not keep squirrels out. Grosbeaks, purple finches, and black-capped chickadees in January. Cardinals and a sparrow in February. Canada geese and a robin in March. Robins and a warbler in April. I'm getting my hair cut. Red-winged blackbirds in May. A bluebird, a goldfinch, wrens, and baby robins in June. Ruby-throated hummingbirds in July. Did you see anything that happened? Look what Mom's holding. Mallard ducks in August. Partridges and ring-necked pheasants in September. Uh-oh, here comes the school bus. First day of school. Canada geese in October. Juncos, a nuthatch, a woodpecker, a cardinal, and a finch in November. Not to mention a turkey, a dove, a blue jay, a titmouse, and other winter birds in December. The end.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Sharon Davis is the president of the Board of Aldermen. We are here where the aldermen meet, and President Sharon Davis is here to talk about what the Board of Aldermen does.
Thank you, Mary. I'm glad to be here.
Good.
So the Board of Aldermen is a form of local government. As other governments have divisions, so does city government. So we have administrative, which are the mayor, and we have legislative, which is the Board of Aldermen. And we kind of are the policy makers, rule setters, I guess would be a good way to put it, for the city of Rutland.
So you make rules. What else do you do?
Well, we spend money. We raise taxes, and how we raise taxes is through the houses that you live in,
Yes.
the land that you live in, or through businesses that reside and do business in the city. So they're taxed to do so, and those taxes are then spent to make the city better, to buy fire trucks, to buy police cars, to plow our streets, to have programs that we can recreate or play. We go swimming in the pool. We play soccer at our parks. We play baseball at our parks. We also have to pay people to work. So we have to pay those firemen who go to a fire, or the policemen that go to a call, or the public works employee who plow our streets and put down new sidewalks, and that's where taxes are going.
You mentioned the pool. Do you use the money that you get from taxes, from those of us who pay money because we own a house or land?
Right?
Do you use that money for the recreation department?
Yes, some of it. So it's divided when the money's collected, and it's collected at certain times during the year.
Yes.
That money is kind of earmarked or put toward different programs. So recreation would be one of them. They would get their share. Each head of a department would put a budget together, and it would say, I need this much money to run this department. And so for recreation, they would say, I need this much money to pay the people who work here, to make sure the pool is usable, to keep our parks clean and usable, to buy equipment like swings and slides and things like that, and to have basketballs and baseballs and soccer balls so we can do kinds of programs like that.
I was in the rec a short time ago, and I was amazed at how much equipment they have for sports.
Right. They
It's
do.
wonderful.
And it is wonderful. People are wonderful. We have to purchase them, like your mom and dad would. If you want a baseball, you got to go to the store and buy a baseball. We have to do the same thing, except we buy it in big numbers. Or people donate equipment that they have, and that's always helpful as well.
Right.
Ice skates, when we're at George Eddy Park and ice skating in the winter, a lot of people who outgrow their ice skates and they're in good shape will give them to the city, and they're left there for kids who maybe don't have a pair and want to go skating.
You meet how often?
We meet twice a month, so we meet the first Monday and the third Monday of every month, and that's when all 11 of us are in this room, and we do business on behalf of the city, and we take action, meaning we have to vote. Someone will bring something up, and we have to vote on that action, and it would be majority that would be the winner.
Right.
So majority would be, as long as we have 11 members, 6 would have to be on the same side.
Right.
And then we also have committee meetings. We belong to a lot of different committees, like recreation, like public safety, which would be police and fire, public works, and we meet with the department heads on issues that are particularly facing their department, and we try to resolve those issues, bring it back to this room where we would take a vote.
I am very happy with city government. And I
that's
always
good.
have.
We're local, and we're available.
Yes.
The mayor always states that his door is open, and his door is open.
Yes.
Department heads in this building, you can reach out and be in touch with them. Any member of the Board of Aldermen, we don't represent just a section of the city. We
Right.
represent the city as whole. So there's 11 of us. If you don't like one of us, there's 10 other ones that you can call.
And you could call or email.
Call, email, absolutely.
And if you wanted to write a letter, which is, I think, a wonderful way to do things because it doesn't disappear.
Right.
Would you send it to City Hall?
You can. Actually, on the city's website, our name, our addresses, our phone numbers, and our email addresses are all visible to the public. So they can either send it directly to my home or they can send it in care of the city clerk's office.
So if I thought something needed to be changed, I could email or phone or write the aldermen, maybe 3 or 4 of them, or just you ahead of time, and I could come here when there's a meeting,
Certainly.
and I would be able to speak and say what I wanted changed,
That's-
right?
that's
I'm not
correct.
sure everybody knows that.
That's correct. This is an open meeting. We had our meeting actually last night and we were filled. This room was filled with folks. And we have a podium over there with a microphone. And we do that simply because we are on television. We're on local
Yes,
TV.
yes. Peg TV.
So folks who are unable to come or don't feel comfortable coming can watch it on television and see what we're doing, how we're spending their money that we collect from them in taxes. And then we have a section in our meeting that's called Outside the Rail. And if you see, there's a railing around the room. And that's what we mean by outside the rail. Anyone who is on the other side of that has an opportunity to speak to the board.
Great. Well, I thank you very much for being with us today.
It's like an old civics class when I was a kid that we used to learn civics and
Yes.
what happened in city government. So I hope this has been helpful.
Thank you, Sharon. I think you made it very clear. Andy Paluch is in charge of a program called Come Alive Outside. Walking is so important. Andy is going to tell us about a program that encourages people to walk. Welcome.
Thank you. So, I'm the director of Come Alive Outside, and so we have lots of different ways to get people outside more, because everybody loves to be outside, right?
Everybody doesn't. They spend too much time inside,
They
I
do.
think.
Well, see, I think they just forget that they love to be outside, and so what we try and do is remind them how much fun
Right.
it is. So, especially during the winter time,
Yes.
it's cold outside, you're sitting inside on the couch all winter, and so we really look for ways to kind of give people an extra reason to go outside. Because I really do think everybody, once they're out there and having a good time,
Yes.
they love it. It's just when
I
you're
agree.
sitting inside on the couch, you think like, oh, I don't want to put my shoes on and go outside. But it's always fun when you get out there.
Yes.
So we do a couple different things. We do some things for kids, we do some things for adults,
Okay.
but the idea of everything is to get people outside.
Good. People feel better if they get outside.
They do. We all feel better. You feel better. Makes your body healthy. It makes your brain healthy. So it's very, very important, and people just don't spend enough time outside anymore. Did you know that kids in 1980 spent twice as much time outside as they do today?
I have read, I didn't know that particular figure, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. And the same thing for adults. Adults will sit and look at computers all day, and they don't get outside
Or
and
phones
play.
or
Sure.
iPads or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not good for us.
No.
And so we do a couple different things. So with kids, most of the elementary school kids around Rutland County, or in Rutland Northeast and Rutland City and Rutland Central, have gotten our little passport booklets like this.
right.
So we do these in the winter time and in the summertime.
Oh, I see.
So we just had lots of kids just finish their winter passport in
Okay.
March.
All right.
Then we'll do another summer passport that all of the kids will get right before summer vacation to take home. They kind of keep you doing lots of fun things through the summertime.
And what is in the passport? And why should I get a passport?
That's a good
I'm going to get
question.
one at school, but why should I take it home?
Sure. So there's a few different things in here. The first section of it is lots of fun adventures that you could do right at your house. So in the wintertime, that was like go outside and build a snowman, or build an obstacle course in your yard, or go outside and look for animal tracks in the snow. So there's lots of things like that you can do right at your house. Then there's
I would
lots
like
of...
to insert this.
Yes.
Outside, a child could help a parent or parents rake the yard or plant vegetables, or, you know, it's not just about you. You can
Sure.
help your family.
Sure, especially in the spring and the summertime.
Exactly,
Lots of stuff.
yeah.
Gardening is
Yeah.
awesome, and I think
Yeah.
I know when I was growing up, I would spend a lot of time out in the garden with my grandma, and she kind of taught me how to garden, and lots of people do that. So it's important to go outside
I
and
think
go outside with your parents or grandparents, and lots of fun things that you can do out there. So. So that's what we encourage people to go do things outside at your house, or if you go to the parks, you probably have seen signs that look like this that are up in the parks, and so when kids
Maybe
go
you have
there,
to look for them.
you do, because there's a secret code at the bottom, which is very important. So you find the secret code, write it in your passport, and when you do that, you get points. And then when you get enough points, you can go to Wonder Feet Kids Museum, which everybody loves, and you find, so you take your points, and then you can go get a prize at Wonder Feet Kids Museum during the summer. So when you go to the park,
How many times during the summer? Just once?
so when you get enough points, you can go pick one prize at Wonder Feet Kids Museum, and then you keep getting as many points as you can, because you can turn in your passport at the end of summer when everybody comes back to school. You can turn them in.
Turn it in at school.
Turn it back in at school, and then we do a grand prize drawing for a bigger prize.
Yes, a money prize.
That's right, a cash
Ooh,
money prize.
Very good.
So lots of fun things to do, going to the park or going to the farmer's market or going to different events that happen in the community in the summertime. So lots and lots of fun things, and I think a good reason to use it is sometimes you forget all of the awesome places and things that you can
Right, just
do.
in Rutland City, there are so many wonderful parks. And of course, there's Pine Hill Park.
You know, I've talked to people who live in Rutland who've never ever been to Pine Hill Park.
Well, then
which
the
is
Pine
crazy.
Hill Park people better
So that,
get on.
well,
Get
that's
on
what
it
we're hoping.
because-
Yeah. So we're hoping this kind of helps give people a reason to
Yes,
go.
yes.
There are lots of new parks. We hear from parents that never knew about Rotary Park or other parks that are right close to where we live. So
But they will be listed in here, right?
yeah, so
Okay,
they're in
good.
here, and then other places up near Barstow School or up in Pittsford and some of the other areas, West Rutland, where some of the other schools are. So there's lots of great spots all around Rutland County.
Okay, so the reason to do this is to get outside and to win prizes
Yeah,
and to feel better.
right. That's the main reason, I
Right.
think.
I think
The
so,
main
too.
reason to do it is because you feel good when you're outside.
Absolutely, right.
So that's why we do the passports.
Thanks, Andy. I agree that outside is wonderful. Bill Ramage used to teach at Castleton University. He's now retired, and he decided he would have a big show of artwork done by people over 70 years old. And it is at 77 Grove Street, the 77 Gallery, and it is up until May 17th. And I have the names of not all of the artists, but some of the artists. And I will just read them very quickly. Edith Hiller, Fran Bull, Karen Seward, Mary Fran Lloyd, Debbie Scranton, Warren Kimball, Joan Curtis, Nancy Wise, Dick Wise, Ann Sarka, Mark Print, Catherine Hall, Sally Keefe, Sandy Mayo, and many, many, many more. We're here at the 77 Gallery at 77 Grove Street, and I am with Bill Ramage, who is responsible for this incredible show that is here now. It will end on May 17th. It is a unique show because everybody who did the work here is over 70 years old. Bill, how did this gallery come to be?
I've had this idea about having a show for people who are septuagenarians and octogenarians, and even people in their 90s, because We are a very interesting generation. People don't realize that what happened between 1950 and 1965 essentially created a cosmic shift in the culture. Everybody knows that supposedly now we're in a postmodern culture, and prior to that there was a modernist culture. And that transition from a modernist culture to a postmodernist culture, from an industrial economy to a service economy, all happened between that time. And this particular generation is the bridge between basically two very different cultures. So I had this idea, well, maybe this would be an interesting thing to see that people who are in their 70s, which means they've been making art, most of them for as long as 50, 55, 60 years. I like to think that in this show, with the 62 people who are representing this show, basically represent about 5,000 years of living, experiencing. Seriously, if you add the average age and you multiply it times 62, it comes out to about 5,000 years of people living, thinking, existing, breathing, and functioning in this culture. Actually, if you watch the videos, many said they drew constantly when they were children. I know I haven't wanted to do anything else since I was 7 years old. You know, children before the 3rd grade basically are processing information, and they do it visually. They're visual thinkers. Interestingly enough, the 3rd grade is sort of this dividing line. Up until the 3rd grade, they learn to read. After the 3rd grade, they read to learn. And in that transition, some people just, up until that time, they draw constantly. Some people, about 1%, continue to think visually and draw and paint and just process that kind of thinking. So, yeah, and all of these people, basically all 62 of us, this is the one thing they have in common. So
I'd like to interject here.
Again.
The Rutland City school system has art once a week for children in grades kindergarten through grade 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then it continues 7 through 12, somewhat different. For instance, a sophomore in high school might elect to take a drawing course
Right.
or a painting class. So a student, K through 12, can take art for many years. We're lucky.
Yep. When I was in high school, this is back in the late 50s, they had, art was an elective and you could take it twice. Well, I sort of whizzled my way, and there wasn't a year that I was in high school that I didn't take art classes. So, and I love to draw, and I, through my entire career as a college student, both as an undergraduate and a graduate, I never took, and there was never a semester that I didn't take a drawing class. And what's interesting about this show is when I had the idea, of course I didn't know 62 artists who were in their 70s or older. So I sent out letters to 12 artists that I knew quite well from different parts of the state. And I said, would you be interested in this? And if you know anyone else who might be interested in this, let me know. And within a couple of months, there were 62 of us. These people just emailed me and said, I would love to be part of this show. So, and people in this show are from all over the state, from Bennington to the Northeast Kingdom, from this fellow over here is from St. Albans to Brattleboro, and everything in between. There's lots of Burlington artists in this show. And there's many sort of notable Vermont artists in this show.
The word for today is art. Ashley Wolff makes art. Bill Ramage makes art and organizes art shows. So I'm going to show you some art. I'm not going to draw today. This is a drawing I made of a tick. Ticks can make you sick. A tick is an animal. Here are some more animals. You might see a frog this summer. You might decide to draw a frog. There are two animals here. Can you spot them? The rabbit is bursting out of the heart, and the girl at the bottom, of course, is an animal too. We're humans, but we're animals too. And this painting with lines later added by me, because I just felt like it, is by Mallory Sauls. This is kind of an imaginary animal. I did this years and years and years ago. This is a painting of a Vermont teddy bear, but it goes with the rhyme, Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? This is a drawing of a bird by Mallory Sauls. We bought when we went to the Vermont Institute of Natural Science in Quechee, Vermont. It's a wonderful place to go. And on this accordion-pleated piece of paper are all kinds of birds so that you can give the birds that you see at a bird feeder or in your trees names. We have American goldfinch, yellow. We have robins, orange and brown. We have cardinals. The male is red. The female is a dull green tone. We have chickadees. We have woodpeckers, blue jays, crows, all kinds of birds. And it's fun to see the birds. And you could try to draw a bird. This is a drawing and painting that I did for my book, I Love to Visit My Grammy. And Grammy is drawing and painting, and so is Penelope, her granddaughter. Now, Grammy's painting looks more real, and Penelope's really doesn't. This is after Mallory and I read a book about an elephant and a mouse. And so she drew and painted an elephant and a mouse. This is a cow by Warren Kimball. Warren Kimball does cows in his own special way. This is a wild turkey in Vermont. It is fun to take a look at pictures of animals that live in different places. This is a sheet from a long time ago when I had a show about drawing, and I did first the body, the head, the trunk, the legs of the elephant, and then I did one down below that was like the one above, but there was more detail. The ear was there, the wrinkles on the skin, the tail was different, and it was just, this is more simple, this is more like the real elephant. This is a zebra. No zebra looks like any other zebra. Did you know that? I bet you didn't. Every zebra has a different pattern. So up above, head, ears, neck, but then down below, many, many, many more details. If you are at the point where you like to scribble, that's fine. That's the beginning. If you want to draw your own kind of tree, fine. Once children start to draw people, they frequently do them like this. And then they move on to something like this. So whatever way you want to draw is just fine. I want to make the point now that you are a star. Everybody can be a star or is a star if they figure out who they are and what they want to do and how to live a life that's good. You can be a star as a plumber. You can be a star as a lawyer. You can be a star as a nurse. You can be a star as somebody who designs teddy bears. Many ways to be a star. You're a star, yes you are. You're a bright and shining star. Yes, you are. Special star, special, special, special star. And here we are at the end. I had this sign at home, and I want to hold it up because I think the word thank is really important. I want to thank you for watching. Bye-bye.